Well, hello, P3B at Lawfield Primary School. And I just want to say thank you so much for giving me the challenge to tell a story. I have a very long list of words and expressions that I have to include in the story. And the question is, can I do it? Now, the rules for me are this, is that I have to count how many words and expressions you have given me, and each word or expression is 30 seconds. So you add those 30 seconds up, and that's the time I have to tell the story. And if I don't tell the story in enough time, then I haven't managed to do it. But if I manage to tell the story in that time, using all the words and expressions that you have given me, and the story kind of makes sense, then I've done it. And if I do it, I will write down the story for you, because it will become your story then. Is that a deal? Well, first let's see the words and expressions you've given me. Unicorns, bunny and rabbits, forest, love, reindeer, hedgehogs, horses, meerkats, squirrels, cow, magic, snow, far in the field, baby fox, dog and kitten, another world, bird, frog, monkey, dragon. Well, far in the field was written twice, and so that's 21 words and expressions. So how much time do I have? Well, I make it 10.5 minutes. Did you come up with that amount of time? So I now have 10.5 minutes to tell you the story based on your words and expressions. The question is, do you think I can do it? Well, to help me, I've got a clock, and I'm going to set the clock with the big hand at the 12, and 10.5 minutes, well, that'll be down to the 2, and then half a minute after that. So I really need to get the story done by the time the big hand reaches the 2, or I'll be running out of time. And someone's going to help me, aren't you? This is Possum. She's from Australia, but she lives with us now. She helps you with my stories. Would you like to say hello to the children at P3B? Right, will you help me time myself? Yeah, she's going to hold the clock. And let's get the story done. Well, I've got the list in front of me, and I will score off every time I mention one of the words or expressions, and maybe you can do the same. Maybe you can have a list in your classroom, just to make sure I don't miss any out. So here's the story. Once upon a time, 2 young children, a brother and a sister, went for a walk in a forest. Well, they went for a walk in this forest because they had heard that this forest was magic. They were looking for unicorns because people said unicorns lived in this forest. Well, they searched all over. They saw lots of animals. They saw a bunny and rabbits. And they saw even a cow munching on grass next to the edge of the forest. But as the day went on, they couldn't see any sign of unicorns at all. They sat under a lovely old oak tree and had their picnic lunch, and above them a bird was singing a song. And after they finished their picnic, they looked at each other and they thought, I don't think there is any unicorns in this forest. We better go back before it gets dark. Well, their mum and dad were nearby, and they were walking towards their mum and dad, when suddenly they saw something lying on the ground. At first it looked like a stone, but when they looked carefully, they realised it wasn't a stone, it was an egg of something. they looked up at the bird and they thought, it's not that bird's egg because the egg is bigger than the bird. Whose egg could it be? They said, I don't know. And then they thought, maybe it's a dragon egg. And so very carefully, they picked up what they thought was the dragon egg. And they took it to their mum and dad. Look, we found a dragon egg, they said. And the mum and dad looked at it and they thought, oh yeah, well, I'm not sure that's an egg. It could just be a stone. Yeah, but dragon eggs looks like stones. They're very hard. Look, it's got kind of tap hold in it. Please, can we take it home and see if it hatches? So the mum and dad agreed. Since they hadn't seen any unicorns, they could take it home to see if it would hatch. And they put it in the shed and they put it in a nice box with straw to keep it nice and warm. Well, the next morning was a Saturday, so they had no school, and so they got up early and they went through to the shed to see if the dragon egg had hatched, and it had, and lying there was a baby dragon. Ran into the house, Mum, Dad, there's a baby dragon in the shed, there's a baby dragon in the shed. Really? Of course, Mum and Dad didn't believe it, but when they saw it, they go, oh, look at that, it is a baby dragon. A real baby dragon. It must come from another world. Well, what are you going to do with a baby dragon in your garden shed? Well, you have to look after it. But what do baby dragons eat? Well, they gave the baby dragon pizza and sausage and spaghetti, and it seemed to like that. But very quickly, this baby dragon wasn't a baby anymore. It was very quickly a big dragon, and when its wings started to stretch, it didn't fit in the shed anymore. You'll have to take it to the zoo, said the mum and dad. But the children didn't want the poor dragon to be in the zoo. They wanted it to be free and in the world, in the another world that it lived. But how do they get there? And the baby dragon, which was no longer a baby dragon, but quite a big one, knew how to get there. It stretched its wings and it started to fly. But then as it flew round the top of the garden, it came back and landed on the garden and looked at the children. And the children understood what the baby dragon was saying. Get on my back. Let's go for an adventure. Do you think they should go for an adventure on this dragon? Well, the dragon was full of love, because the children had looked after this dragon, and so the dragon loved the children, and so the dragon was going to make sure the children were safe, but also that they could have some fun. And so the children went onto the back of the dragon, and off it flew high into the sky. First of all, the dragon flew way up north, over Scandinavia. When they looked down, they could see that the land was covered in snow, and there was a great herd of reindeer. And they were quite sure they could see Santa getting ready for Christmas. And then the dragon flew down to the south. The dragon flew over Europe, over the Mediterranean Sea to northern Africa. And when they looked down, they saw desert. But the dragon kept on flying south, and soon they saw jungle, and then grassland and savannah, and amazing sights like elephants and giraffes. And there was a huge family of meerkats. Wow, said the children, this is much better than the zoo. We can see the animals in their own habitat. And then the dragon flew across the Atlantic Ocean. It only took him a few minutes to get to the Americas. And there he flew over the prairies of the western part of the United States of America. And they looked down, and guess what? They saw wild horses. And then the dragon flew south to South America, and he flew over what was left of the Amazon rainforest. And there they saw a monkey on top of the tree, eating the fruit from one of the trees. The monkey was very surprised to see a dragon flying over the tree. Well, eventually the dragon flew back to their garden and landed very softly and carefully, and the brother and sister got off the dragon. "Thank you so much," they said. "That was awesome. We've been all over the world and seen animals in their habitat. We'll miss you, but be safe in your world." And the dragon smiled and flew off, and soon it was just a dot in the distance. The next day the children felt a little bit sad because they wished they could go and visit all these amazing animals in their habitats. But the mum and dad had an idea. "Well, we can't go to Africa today, and we can't go to the Americas or the North Pole, but what we can do is we can go back into that wood. And that wood is a magic wood in its own way. Might not have monkeys, but it's got other things, like hedgehogs and squirrels." So they went exploring, and they discovered that the wood that they lived nearby was almost as interesting as the Amazon rainforest. There was so many things to see and explore and discover. Far in the field, just outside the wood, they even saw a hare running really fast. "Do you know that's the fastest land mammal in this country?" said the dad. "Whoa," said the children, pretending to be hares, but there's no way they could run as fast as a hare. And when they were sitting down having their picnic in the wood, they heard a noise. There was a frog looking at them. The children smiled. "It's true. This wood is full of amazing animals. You don't have to go far to find the magic of nature, do you?" And they saw a baby fox. "Oh, he's so cute," they said. "We wish we could take him home to look after him. We wish we had a pet we could look after." Well, when they got home, they had a surprise. Their granny had come to visit. The children were really pleased because their granny had a dog that they loved. But this time, their granny brought a kitten. "Oh, this wee kitten needs someone to look after it. Who could that be?" "Us, please," said the children. So they were given a kitten as a pet to look after and love. "Oh," they said, "it might not be a dragon, but it might be a little bit easier to look after. And we'll still give it all the love that we gave that dragon." And so they did. And so that's the end of my story. Well, almost the end. You see, there were unicorns in that wood. It's just that the children didn't see them because unicorns are very good at hiding. When they see kindness and people loving and respecting nature and animals, well, you get a better chance of seeing them. So maybe the next story could be how these children go back to the wood and discover the unicorns. But that's another story. Did I make it in time? And did I manage to mention all the words and phrases in telling the story? Well, Possum, did I make it in enough time? Wow. How many? I had 10 seconds left. Just made it. And did I mention all the words? Shall we see the list? Possum's been ticking it off with me. I've been helping. And here's the list. But I used all the words that you gave me, and I could not have made that story without your words. Your words were the ingredients of the story. And I mixed your ingredients with my imagination. And then I came up with the story. I hope you liked that story. And if you did, and if you want me to, I'll write it down for you. And if I write that story down, I would like you to help me by drawing the part of the story that was connected to your word. And then we can make a book together for Christmas. What about that? Your teacher can let me know what you think. Bye.